Over the weekend, Breaking Dawn Part 2 made over $130 million at the box office. And a big part of that success was the introduction of one of the Cullens' biggest allies, a vampire with some unique powers played by Rami Malek. Welcome to the studio, Rami. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Well, your career really is kind of exploding now. How does it feel to sort of be not just in one of the most successful movies of the year, but also to have one that simultaneously is the most acclaimed with The Master, sort of those two things happen at the same time?
Right. I wouldn't use the word exploding as the perfect verb, but I feel great about it. I'm trying to balance everything out and do a little art house work and maybe pick up a blockbuster now and again, and it seems to be working out.
Mm-hmm. Well, coming into Twilight, what were your expectations? I mean, did you have any trepidations about integrating yourself into this sort of cultural phenomenon?
I did. I was very worried about it. I had talks back and forth with the agent, and it was great, and I'm glad I finally did it. And knowing that Bill Condon was going to be a part of it, he's a very classy, just a really, really great director from so many aspects. He knows how to treat an actor. He knows how to treat, a ensemble as big as this, and he's got the experience to do it, and an Oscar for writing. So.
Well, the character that you play has literal control over the elements. What do you have to do sort of dramatically to bring that to life, knowing that later on they're going to be, doing all this CGI and stuff around you? Right.
Well, they have in this day and age the technology to kind of storyboard it out, so you get to see yourself as an animation performing that physical action. And then I just try to bring something unique to it every time. Talked with Bill about what kind of hand motions, or if it was just going to come, visually, or, from the eyes. And we worked out a lot of fun things to do on set. It was great. He was very collaborative. That's one thing I really appreciated about him.
Now, we've been holding back talking about it because we don't want to spoil it for anybody who's seen it, but now that the movie's out, we've been sort of really excitedly talking about sort of this giant twist at the end of the movie, which is so great, such a great sort of thing for the fans. What did you feel, what did you think when you sort of read that? Because obviously there's so much stuff going on, and then it kind of, takes a pretty sharp turn.
Well, I thought, if they're going to stray away from the book at any part, it should be in this final installment. Give the fans just a moment of, something they weren't expecting, something extremely dramatic, and I think it works out, because I remember watching it with everybody. I went to watch it with the fans specifically. We had screenings to go to before, but I really wanted to, feel their response and sit around them, and I could feel, this moment of shock that emanated from the theater. It's pretty classic. So I think they did a great job with that.
Well, now you also, like I said, you were also in The Master, which came out recently. What was it like working opposite these two powerhouses, and does that challenge you, or does it help you, because they are so intense on screen?
That's a great question. It's nerve-wracking leading up to it and preparing for it. These ideas of these iconic actors and filmmakers that I know I'm going up against. But, after day one and even auditioning with Joaquin, I just felt this sense of camaraderie with them. And everybody was there to support this film, the great writing and the great director, and we all came together and put our best foot forward. And that's what you have to do. It's fight or flight when you're with those guys. And you got to fight. I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So
Sure.
Well, you get that confidence.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned seeing Breaking Dawn with the fans. The Master is a movie that, even if you look at the promotions, like there have been different scenes that weren't in the movie. Like, what was your sort of experience of watching it when you first or finally got a chance to see the finished product?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, because we had shot so much footage that, you never know what could be in there. You never know when, Paul Thomas Anderson's sitting down cutting this thing with the editors, what he likes and the story he wants to tell. So it was, a unique experience seeing it for the first time. I was actually in San Francisco hanging out, and I walked by the Castro Theater, and we saw a sign that said The Master's surprise screening in 70 millimeter. So I called him up. I was like, "Hey," and we talked. He was like, "Just keep it on the download. Show up tomorrow. Right place, right time." So.
Cool. Well, sort of what's next for you, and what are you sort of taking from both of these experiences that are so different, do you think? Going forward, either creatively or professionally, for that matter.
I think just trying to balance it out, pick the right projects, and find good material out there. That's the one thing I'm looking for. especially after working, with Paul Thomas Anderson and reading such an excellent script. It really makes you want to find the best writing out there and put your best foot forward in that respect. But I just finished working on a movie with Spike Lee called Old Boy. He's remaking his Korean film with Josh Brolin, and that was a ton of fun. I mean, I was working with Sam Jackson and Spike Lee behind me. Josh Brolin's in front of me, and I'm getting these incredible experiences, day after day. So I'm thrilled and fortunate.
Well, it sounds like you're having some great opportunities, and we're excited to see them. So thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it.
No, pleasure to be here with you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Breaking Dawn Part 2 is in theaters now. Now for the latest news in Hollywood, head to celebbuzz.com.